Welcome to the second episode of Two Floaties, One Wobbler. This is a local North Carolina Melee podcast where we discuss different local results and news all in the area, as well as any other Smash topics that are basically relevant to our scene. My name is Tyler, aka Sharks, and I still do not know how to moonwalk in Melee.
My name is Graham, aka Hi-Fi, and I have spent multiple hours over the last week looking up ways to farm coins in Super Mario Odyssey so that I can get the 9,999 bone suit because I'm obsessive that way.
My name is Arun, aka Zent, and I eat pizza starting from the crust.
Okay, how do you hold your pizza doing that? What do
okay,
you,
so there's
do
some
you like
pizza
to-
that doesn't have structural integrity, and so you have to eat it the normal way. But if you get Domino's pizza, the crust is really solid all around, so you can just hold it at the bottom. You know how the Italians have the stereotypical gesture they make with their hands?
Yes.
You sort of widen that a bit, and then that gives you a stand for the pizza, and then you just eat a crust.
See, I just like to imagine you holding the very tip end of it, dangling it above your head, and just stuffing it in your mouth that way.
I
And
did
it's-
have a friend who could fold it. She just fold the pizza back and forth. I don't know how to describe it, but she would just dangle it above her mouth and just fold it back and forth and just smush the whole thing in.
That is unfortunate. Now, Graham, is eating it crust first worse than eating it with a fork?
I think eating pizza with a fork is super underrated because sometimes
Oh.
the pizza has no structural integrity, and it's just melting cheese and grease all over your hands. It's
There's-
falling in on itself. It ends up the same way in the same place at the end of it. Same flavor. You're not missing anything by not using your hands. It's 2018. We're supposed to be civilized.
Okay, no. The only two times that's okay to eat with a fork is, like you said, if there's no structure to it, like it's literally falling apart, or if it's so hot you cannot touch it. Otherwise, it is not
Arun,
underrated.
How do you not just burn your hands off doing this? The whole point of the crust is it's the thing you grab onto. So that you
Yeah,
don't-
I'm touching the crust on the bottom of the pizza, so it's still not that hot.
I guess I can allow this, but there's something about it that fundamentally offends me.
You need to grip it. Does it not fall over when you bite it? If you're just holding it under your hand? How are you
No, 'cause
gripping
when
this?
when you're biting into it, you provide some structure, right? Because your face is there also to support.
Ugh.
I don't know. Next time we get pizza together, I'll show you. but
Oh my
it's
gosh!
good.
I'm
The
so
best part of the
mad.
pizza is the cheese and the tomato sauce, and the crust is the worst part. So I want to get it out of the way.
Wait,
Okay, that's just wrong.
real
the crust
quick-
should be the best part.
No, it's not. Okay, real quick though, before
man.
we continue, what's your favorite topping?
So there used to be this place in Chapel Hill called Pepper's Pizza. It got shut down a
I
while
love
ago.
peppers.
But they had this pizza called the Bermuda Triangle. It was by far my favorite. It had pineapple, jalapeno, and feta, and I love all three of those.
Yeah, pineapple was my
good.
top. Pineapple was my favorite.
I'd probably say bacon. I'm not huge on toppings. A good cheese pizza, totally satisfied with that.
I mean, you don't care, right? Because the toppings still go on the crust, which is the best part of the pizza to you.
Well,
Wow,
that is
that's
also
true. That's true.
I would eat a pizza if the crust was good. There doesn't really have to be anything else on it, because then it's just bread, and it's good bread.
Grant,
How do
have you
want-
seen a nun pizza with left beef?
No, I haven't.
On Domino's, you can select where you want the sauce and the cheese, so you can get a pizza without sauce and without cheese, and they'll just give you a baked crust, and you can put toppings on if you want, and they'll just be rolling around. To try it out sometime.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
So
I think I'm gonna look into this. This is enticing.
yeah, before I order a pizza and eat it for the rest of the podcast, I think we need to move on. So for the rest of the episode, we're going to be talking about local results. Like I said earlier, we got 4 tournaments that we're discussing that happened over the past 2 weeks, as well as, of course, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Nintendo Switch. We're going to be talking about that. What we're looking forward to, what it means to the national scene as well as the local scene, interacting with the other community, so on and so forth, as well as a trivia segment. So if you are ready, let's get into it.
All right, and this is the in-state results segment where we talk about tournaments and results that have happened in North Carolina since our last episode, and we actually have a lot. Very good sign about the sort of health of locals this coming season. We had 4 events, very well attended for the most part, with good competition. I guess let's just go one by one. So we'll start with Revival of Melee or Revival of Monday or whatever it's being called now, the ECG biweekly series. Um, the first one, I guess, was called something else, so I don't have a good idea of how I want to refer to these in terms of the numbering, but this was the second tournament at ECG since we got back in there after kind of a hiatus. Nothing too surprising happened here. We had Gato over Sidward, which some might not consider an upset, but just kind of based on recent trends, I think it's worth mentioning. Sidward over Time Bones in losers quarters was kind of a heartbreaker of a set. Chi over CMAC, which is a strict upset by seeding, although historically I think those two players have gone very back and forth. But then most surprisingly, we have Fish Money over Sprankles in losers round 3. Now Sprankles has switched to Yoshi. I have no idea why. He was always a Puff main, PR level Puff main, but he's playing a lot of Yoshi now, and I guess he lost to Fish Money, so that's a pretty big win for him.
Yoshi's a weird character to switch into because there's so much you have to learn. It's not like switching between Fox and Falco, and especially if you come from Puff, which I mean, Puff isn't totally different from most of the top tiers, but you kind of acquire a different skill set, at least a little bit, playing Puff than you do playing more mains or like fast fallers, for example.
Oh, I completely agree. I think Puff is pretty strange in general, but Yoshi being a double jump character, that's always something that I've never really, I can't pick up and play double jump characters very well because or I guess double jump canceling characters, because the whole trying to do an aerial and then not maintaining your momentum, that's hard to get used to. But why do you guys think Sprinkles is making this switch, having been pretty successful player by North Carolina standards, and then just sort of saying, all right, I'm going to play a mid-tier, I'm going to play a worse character? Is this the AMSA influence? Is it something else? Is it just that's how Sprinkles is?
I'd say it's a mix of a few things. One is AMSA. I mean, there's been an obvious influx of Yoshi. I feel like throughout like the country because of him. You just kind of see he's more popular now, and also just because he sprinkles, like he probably just has fun doing it. And he feels like it, so why not?
Because we also have Karn switching to Yoshi.
That
He
one's
hasn't.
weird. That one's a lot stranger to me
Okay, and why is that?
because Karn doesn't feel like a Yoshi player. Like he's a Sheik, right? Like I
Uh-huh.
mean, I don't know. That's just such a weird switch. I don't know. Maybe he thought he was just being too static in his play and he needed a change. Um,
I mean, Karn's played like a lot of characters historically, though. Like he's
it's
pulled out
true.
Fox and Marth in bracket. He has the secondary Falcon, so that one is actually a little bit less weird to me. Like I,
He has a pretty
I wouldn't be
sick move
surprised if
too.
his pocket Yoshis existed for years and we just haven't seen it.
That's a good point.
Uh, I don't know. I think some people just. I feel like Karn and Sprankles have kind of had a maybe sedentary place in the NC Melee meta, so to speak. Like they've both kind of been at the same level for a while. Which isn't to say they're bad players or anything, of course. Just that the competition's like gotten really strong and it's hard to keep up. So maybe they've kind of accepted like they're part of the old guard now, and maybe they just want to try something new for fun.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, because of the growth of Yoshi kind of in the national meta, I think it's good if we have competent Yoshis in NC. I mean, we sort of have this problem of we don't have any Samuses, but when you go to a major, there's a good chance you're going to have to play one. It's a matchup you need to know. Kind of the same with like Pikachu, although we do have Volf, but he doesn't come to like triad or triangle events as much,
Hmm.
so we don't get to see him too often. But if we have two Yoshis that are good enough to be kind of practice for out of state stuff, I think that's good.
Yeah, I feel
Um,
like character diversity in general is really nice. Just even if you're not trying to do well out of state, it's nice to go to a tournament and not be playing like the same matchups every single time. And I think
yeah,
it's also good because sometimes like even if there isn't, for example, a Pikachu main in your state, but if you just get to play random mid tiers every now and then, you kind of are forced to play matchups where you have no idea what you're doing and you just kind of have to adapt as you go and figure out what makes your character a top tier and what are the tools you really should be abusing.
that's a good point. I think that's a very uh, positive way to look at it. I know there are definitely players in North Carolina that would say, I'd rather just play against top tiers all the time. I hate stupid mid tiers and having to
Yeah.
figure out dumb matchups. Um, so I'm sure we'll get a little bit of both from people, but it'll be interesting to see. And I'm also interested to see which one of them is like the better Yoshi, because they're kind of starting at an even place. I feel like they sort of made the switch at the same time. Maybe Karn has more Yoshi experience historically just because he's played the game for longer, but I don't know. Should be fun to see how that pans out
I mean, do you
one way
think
or the other.
either of them could be a consistent, like, say, top 20 Gar player with Yoshi? Do you see that happening at all?
I don't know if well, because the thing is, I know that they're both good players in the abstract, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they've both been PR'd, so they have that working for them. Yoshi as a character is being popularized because of AMSA doing very well on the national scene. So there's the character has the potential to do that too. I mean, there are people now saying stuff like Yoshi beats Marth, Yoshi beats Sheik, Yoshi Puff is very close to even. I don't know if I agree with any of that. That's just stuff people have been throwing out. So I would say it's possible. Whether I see it happening or not, uh, I think it depends too much on how other people adapt to the matchup. Because there's a chance that they'll kind of get figured out, or there's a chance that Yoshi's good enough that they'll just be successful. I don't know. I
I
think
mean,
it could go either way, honestly.
I do think if there's like a local scene that Yoshi could be really good in, it might be NC because I think Yoshi's bad matchups are supposed to be Peach and Falcon, and
And we
Yeah.
don't have those.
like yeah, recently the Peaches. I mean, there's still Peaches that go to. There's still like some mid-level Peaches, but it's not like the old days where you have like Jimmy Singers and Waylon at every tournament.
Yeah.
And there's Mike and GCS for Falcon, but Mike doesn't really go to stuff too often. GCS goes to the big tournaments, but if you're looking to just go to Geeks and ECG,
The
he's
thing
not
too
really
is
someone you have
that
to worry about.
Mike and GCS are both top 5 players, so it's kind of like even if you know Karn and Sprinkles were playing their mains, they're probably going to lose to him anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's also
There isn't
just
really like a threatening mid-level Falcon to them yet.
yeah. So the other thing is, if you think people used to say that like Amstead didn't actually do that well in Japan, even though he was taking wins off people like Mewtwo King years ago in America, just because people in Japan got to
Knew the
play him that
matchup.
often and figured him out.
Mm-hmm.
So especially now there's two of them. I don't know how often they plan to go to tournaments, but I don't think they'll be able to get by just by how esoteric the matchup knowledge for Yoshi is, at least locally.
Yeah, I would agree. Also, kind of speaking of the old guard in a sense, what do you guys think Gato's place is in the NC meta right now? Because he's had a pretty up and down past year, year and a half, 2 years between being PR'd and then kind of falling off and not doing as well. But then he just comes in one of the first tournaments of the season, picks up a PR win. Um, and he's, in my mind, always been a player that could threaten the lower end of the PR on a good day. So, and people like that are especially hard in my mind to seed accurately, kind of high highs, low lows. So, you guys have any thoughts on Gato going to more events or the kinds of players he could pick off and how he might do against sort of the lower end of what is considered to be a weaker PR this season?
I always thought that he was at his best when he was attending a lot of tournaments, which is going to be occurring a little bit more now. I know that he's going to be going to just about all the Monday ones if possible.
Mm,
Hopefully for both the bi-weeklies happening on Monday now, because I know for sure he'll be going to all the ECG ones and probably all the NC State ones as well, if everything pans out. So it's going to be hard to tell because he picked up the PR one, really good start of it. The rest of it we don't know because I mean he did fine in losers. I mean I guess he didn't really do much in losers. He just played CMAC, lost 2-1, and apparently a really close Mark Ditto, which would be another solid win if he just finish it out. But
that
I
would have
think
been a
that's
great
always
win.
been one of the hardest things for him to do, is to be clutch at the very end. If he can just kind
Hmm.
of get that factor down, he'll be pretty scary, especially this season.
Yeah, he's always struck me as a player who is very, very good with the lead. He likes putting pressure on, being aggressive, but it's when he has to rein it in a bit, play kind of tight last stock situations that um, he sort of struggles more often than not. But I don't know. I think all the tools are there. Marth is kind of, I mean, I'm glad he's playing Marth again. I think his Pikachu is actually pretty good. There are a lot of things I liked about it, but um, he's
you'll
clearly very comfortable with the character. So
you'll never see that go away either. He'll pull out a secondary whenever he's just feeling like it. No matter
yeah,
what the matchup is, like he will definitely go Pikachu at least 1 or 2 games or sets this season. I can guarantee that. He'll throw Fox out too. Like I know against like Ganon and things like that, he'll go Fox.
wow. All right, well, guess we got to keep a lookout for that. Um, that's about all there is to say about that first Monday tournament. But then the very next day had another Geeksboro. There were kind of some smaller upsets here that I'll try to go over those first, and then we can kind of talk about the bigger ones that have more conversation to them. Meat beating Marklar in winners round one. This is I think the best win Meat has ever had, if I'm correct about that. It is Marth Peach, and Marklar is kind of a mid-level player, so it's not anything amazing. But Meat plays with me a lot, and he's been grinding super hard. He goes to every event he can go to after, you know, being up 24 hours from his job or something. He'll just go to a tournament right after that. He's kind of insane. So it was good to see him pick that up. We also had Roma over Duck, Lamb over Twisty Treats. These are kind of, again, smaller upsets, but by seeding. Worth mentioning. Pelipper over Time Bones in losers round 4. I'm not sure what happened with that. Also Marth Peach, except going the other way this time. But I know that Colin has done pretty well against Pelipper in the past, so I was just kind of surprised to see that.
I don't think this is Pelipper's first win over Colin, or
No.
only win over Colin in recent history. I think maybe 2 months ago, around that time, he also got a win. And Pelipper is, I honestly think, pretty solid at the matchup. Like he's one of those people who you watch him play Peach, and he makes Peach look like a faster character than she actually is. And I think that's super important in that matchup because you play Peach kind of like very wonky, slowly. Marth can just beat you with the sword.
That's true. So picks up an early PR win. There's going to be a lot of PR wins, I think, compared to last season, which is a good and a bad thing. But we can talk more about that in a bit. And then Lamb also beat Black Chris in losers round 4, which he has done before. I think that was the first we heard of Lamb, if I recall, is that he was an Elon player that no one had ever heard of, and then he took a set off Chris, I believe also to Geeks a few months ago. And then I got to play him in losers, and I was pretty impressed with him. I mean, he was a lot kind of like Gato, actually, in the way he plays. He likes to move forward. He likes to swing. He's really good about following stuff that other Marths, I would just be like, they would never attempt it. So I never thought I was threatened in this position, but then he just hits me. So I'm wondering, how good is Lamb? Is he kind of an under the radar pick for the next Arcadian? Or is he kind of just going to be one of those Marths that can destroy Spacies because of the punish game, but then sort of struggles in floatier matchups and all of that? Because I believe most of his wins have been on Spacies.
So I remember a while ago, while I was still in NC, so this was like around a year ago, he also went to a Chapel Thrills, and I think he beat Beef Tip and someone else. I think it might have been Jack, Jay Willie. I'm not entirely sure.
He did beat Beef Tip. I do remember that.
So he's definitely like someone who should be taken seriously. Granted, that one was also a long time ago, but I don't think he attends that many tournaments. So if he's attending like 4 tournaments a year or something, and at 2 of them he's making these losers runs, then he's definitely someone mid-level should watch out for. At the same time, I don't know if I think I need to see a bit more from him before I say he's like a contender to make top 8 or Arcadian.
That's fair.
But that's just like, you need a large sample size, and I think especially at the mid-level, there's a lot of like inconsistent players that, it's still a good thing. It's still something to be proud of if you take a win off of one of these, like off of someone like Black Chris or Beef Tip. But I think at the same time it's possible to take wins off these people, but maybe not be like on a trajectory to soar into like the higher echelon of NC.
Right. And what I think is interesting is that because usually when you see kind of mid-level players who don't attend a lot doing things like this, it's Volferix, SS Bane, people playing unconventional characters where there's a bit of the matchup inexperience factor coming into play. But he's a Marth main, and I think Marth is like the most popular character in North Carolina right now, maybe besides Fox. But it just feels like there are so many Marth players now at kind of the mid-level. So it's definitely a matchup that I figured a lot of people would be kind of used to at this point. But I would agree. I think a bit more is needed before we can really say anything definitively there. But I was just pretty impressed playing him.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of promise. It's just we don't want to jump to early conclusions.
Yeah, that's fair. And then next thing to talk about, uh, the Roma duck set. So I totally forgot about this while I was mentioning it, but what happened with that was, before a tournament, you're sitting there warming up with someone, just kind of playing, move around and whatever.
Oh no.
So Hassel and Roma played for like 45 minutes straight just to warm each other up. And then they get announced as having to play in winners round one. So then Hassel brings this to the TO's attention. He says, hey, we have just been playing for 45 minutes. So can we be switched or whatever? And I believe there were, this was a pretty well attended Geeks. There were 39 entrants. So plenty of players. And this was the 16-17 match. So very evenly matched. Kind of makes sense why they're warming up with each other. And it would have been pretty easy, I think, to switch one of them with, the 18 seed, the 19 seed, maybe the 15 seed, something
Yeah,
like that.
J-Bass and Zave played. Pretty easy to switch, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, there's no region conflicts there if a switch is made. But the TO did not make the switch. And so Hassel just said, all right, well, I forfeit then because that's stupid.
Really?
I don't want to, yeah. Which I would never do personally. I would just say, this sucks, but I'm going to beat you. Sorry. But on the other hand, I can kind of respect that, sort of protesting the situation by saying, well, I'm just not going to play then. So I was wondering if you guys had any thoughts about that, because the region conflict thing gets thrown around a lot. Like, oh, I drove here with this guy, so I don't want to play in winners round one. Okay, fine. That's almost universally accepted as a legitimate reason to change the bracket. Do you think that if you play and warm up with someone, that's on the same level? What do you think about what Hassel did? Is it a TO's job to switch stuff like this once the bracket has been finalized, or is once it's final, it's done?
A couple of thoughts on that. First thing, I think that is totally a valid reason. If I've been playing friendlies with someone the entire time, I want to know that I'm not going to be playing them in bracket. I've had experiences like that where I specifically avoid playing people so I don't have to play them in bracket. Or friendlies because I know I'm going to play them in bracket, things like that. I think the TO, and this is easier said than done, but I think there should be a period of about like 5 minutes where the TO says, okay, bracket has been finalized. Please take a look at it before I officially start the tournament. And if there's anything wrong, come to me. I'll fix it. If any changes are made, tell what the changes are. Say if there's anything else wrong, let me know. Otherwise, we're going to start. And then if no one has any objections, start the tournament then. Do you know if anything like that happened with that, or?
I don't believe so, because I think the trend at Geeks Weeklies is that it's very much all right, we're trying to do doubles and singles. We got to be out by 11, so we got to get it moving. So I'm pretty sure the bracket just gets released.
Okay.
That's that.
Yeah.
To be fair, it is a local, so the region conflict thing is generally handled ahead of time because we kind of know everybody. But I guess it would be impossible for the TO to tell, like, he's not monitoring everyone who's playing friendlies beforehand and who.
Yeah, no, and that's not the TO's job to see that. That would be ridiculous. Right. But I think there should be a time where you ask. Now, friendly, I agree. Yeah, it's a weird thing because I wouldn't forfeit it, but I don't disagree either with what he did. It's like, okay, I kind of understand why he did that, just like you said. It's just kind of one of those things that's going to happen at a local, and you kind of got to roll with the punches, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. And the thing is that I think Hassel said that he was beating Roma in most of the friendlies. So it's not like he forfeited because he felt like he couldn't win.
Sure, yeah.
It was more of I think it's stupid for me to win this way and not fair to Roma. He plays friendlies with me and gets beat up for 45 minutes and then has to lose to me in winners round one.
Sure.
So, yeah, I agree with you about the 5-minute thing. And I don't think it's really that hard either because... Or I don't mean for the TO, but I mean for the players. Everyone has a smartphone now. So it's like, just, pull up the bracket, quickly look over it, see if you're basically you need to look to winners round 1 and winners round 2, and that's
That's it.
kind of about it.
And
Yeah.
if it's too late, like you've said, if the tournament started and then you notice it, too late. That's on you then. That's not the TO's fault anymore. He
Right.
gave
If
you
they give
time.
you that 5-minute period, then it kind of, yeah, I think it sort of absolves them of that. So, and it's only 5 minutes. It's not that much.
No.
So I'd hope to see more of that.
Yeah.
But
I feel like most places do that. Just like you said, it's gonna be with time. So we'll see how ECG handles it. I guess on this upcoming Monday,
yeah.
because they'll be running doubles, so that should be interesting.
So yeah, we'll see what
Which did
happens there.
start a little bit late last time, so hopefully they'll have everything together.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm sure they're trying to work out the kinks of that, but I mean, it is tough running doubles and singles on a weeknight.
Oh yeah,
Um,
and then
so then there,
we've got Tiger next, right? Is that the next one to talk about?
yes, yeah. So Tiger went on a bit of a run. He beat me in winners quarters and then Dash in winners semis,
And
and then I
CAC
believe
earlier as well, which is not something to scoff at either.
right. I think they played secondaries that set.
Oh no.
I was talking to Peyton about it, and he said he feels like he has just as good of a chance playing the Icy Ditto against Tiger as he would playing like Falco Sheik, is what I think they did. Um,
Does he just not enjoy the matchup then, or?
I don't think it was that. I think he. Ugh, I'm not entirely sure, honestly, because I've only done that once in tournament where I've said like let's both play secondaries and just kind of see how it goes. And I don't think I would ever do that again with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if I'm gonna play a secondary, I'm committing to sort of do it for the whole tournament, ride or die. But I know that all the mid-level ICs mains have a lot of secondaries that they like playing, so it might have just been I don't know, like a gentleman's agreement kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I am pretty sure that they did not play the Icy Ditto that week.
Okay.
Regardless, though, 2 PR wins. I think then he lost to Tylenol and winners and safe and losers, or the other way around. But he did lose to those 2 players. Still, strong start to a new season. I think Tiger is pretty committed to sticking to Icies at this point, which is
Good. Yeah.
ironic because we just talked about him playing secondaries. But I think for most matchups, he's probably not going to be playing Puffer Sheik like we talked about last time. At least that's kind of what I can tell from recent things that he said and how he's performed in tournament. So he's already emerged as kind of a strong contender this season as far as PR wins go. And
Mm-hmm.
you
Did
know,
he
makes
was
sense.
if you don't mind me asking too much, how was the matchup between you and him? Like, was he playing well? Was it like how was it?
It's always kind of hard for me to tell when ICs besides you are playing well because it kind of feels like I just like they're going for the same things all the time and that it
Yeah,
just happens to work because of me not playing well, if that makes
I
sense.
totally understand that. Yeah.
Like it never really feels like, oh, they just made like a really big play there. It's like, no, he did what he's usually doing and it worked this time because I
Mm-hmm.
made a mistake or didn't respect this or didn't react to this quick enough or blah blah blah.
Sure.
I think I was having a lot of issues with that matchup because part of the last time that I played him, we had that really close set at Everybody Loves Peyton where I felt really in control for a game and a half and then he kind of turned it around a bit, and then it was this tense last stock situation where I had to get a rest. Um, and I think what that did to me is it made me think like, well, I need to camp harder in this matchup because everyone hates getting wobbled, and you feel like, well, I made one small mistake and I had a small lead. I should just force him to come to me. But lately, after that set too, I watched more Icy's VODs and thought about it more, and I really feel like against this character, it is legitimate to camp them out, but it has to be a strategy that you 100% commit to from start to finish the entire match. You truly never interact with them. And I was trying to like mix that in with approach sometimes and then sometimes stay on the
Mm-hmm.
platform. And it just doesn't work.
I can
I
agree
mean, for
with that.
me.
I'd say if it's like if you're doing a half and half, it needs to be like mostly aggression within a small amount of camp, and then go back to aggression pretty quickly,
I mean
and
I
seeing how
mean
they
I think
react to that.
there's like a difference, and I couldn't really wrap my head around this until very recently. there's a difference between not approaching for a little bit and like camping.
Mm-hmm.
Because camping is you have no intention of ever approaching them, which doesn't make sense when you're trying to mix it in with approaching. Trying to mix this in with approaching is more like not attacking on the first opening every single time.
Okay.
It's kind of, like playing footsies and how like good neutral is supposed to be, kind of poking and, oh, I could go in here, but the risk reward isn't quite there. I'm going to see if he does this because I think if I wait, he'll do that. Camping was just like, I'm going to sit on a platform and hope you jump at me. And if you don't jump at me, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. And that's kind of the problem that I would corner myself into, say, well, I'm going to camp. And then nothing happens for a minute and a half, but then you're in the same situation as before. Like, you have to, unless you're going to be fully committed to timing them out and running away, you have to interact somehow.
Okay.
You have to do it safely and you have to respect the wobble and all of these things, but you can't just have your game plan be, well, he's behind so he has to approach me at some point, because it also sort of limits your counterplay because they know you're not going to attack them. There's this whole set of options they don't have to respect because you've shown you won't do them.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
And then it just kind of feels like you're boxed into the corner and they'll eventually win an RPS situation.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I'm feeling better about that matchup moving forward, but it's very, like, when people talk about this, some people say Puff should just run away from Ices. That's the best thing to do.
Most of those
Some
people who
people
say
say-
that don't play either character, so
Yeah.
they don't really exactly know the intricacies of that. Easier said than done.
Right, and I'm not saying that I think that's a bad strategy, but I think that you have to fully commit to that.
Yeah.
Like, that has to be your entire game plan, and I don't think I can play like that. I don't want to play like that, for one, but I think even if I was convinced that was the best way to play the matchup, I don't think I could do that. Like, the classic example is you versus Smash Bob from a Hornet's Nest recently, where I don't even know how long the set was, but it was like multiple timeouts.
It's about
game
36
5.
minutes, I think.
Okay, a 36-minute best of 5. Like, I just don't have the sort of mental endurance to do that.
And then
especially
continue on with the tournament after that.
Right, because even if you lose that set, you're just like, geez, I played for 36 minutes to lose. And if you win, it's relief, but then you have to keep playing the game, and
Yeah.
it's
Like, that set was losers finals of the Hornets, right? So you didn't even get to take a break. You had to go straight on to your
No, but
tournament life.
I think I played well after that because I was like, yes, I don't have to play against this anymore. I was just so happy to play Melee after that I think I played well. I was like, yes, Melee. What a fun game.
yeah, interacting is enjoyable.
Yeah. You think we should move on to the next one here?
Yeah, I think that's about all. I did want to talk about Tunnel Safe, but we can discuss
Oh.
that we can do that at the end of
Yes.
the last one, because there was
Agreed.
Oh, yeah,
Agreed.
They played at both geeks.
Yeah,
so-
we'll talk about it at the end then.
So the next up we had the June Brews, which this is the $200 pot bonus tournament held at a bar in Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Or
Yeah.
Rocky Mount?
It's Wilson. Mm-hmm.
Wilson, okay. Before we talk about results, because there weren't too many, this tournament had issues with not being announced very early, leading to low attendance, and a lot of people not confirming they were attending to try to sneak in and win the pot bonus without having to
Mhm.
try. So it's really funny that multiple people walked into the venue where there's 13 people, but like 8 of them are very good players who are also trying to kind of sneakily show up and just take the pot bonus because no one else came to claim it, basically.
Yeah, the pot bonus has had a really strange effect on this tournament, and I don't know if it's been wholly positive. I mean, I feel like I don't know if the tournament would be alive without it, to be honest, because it's in Wilson. But you're right. Every week it's been like, okay, is anyone going to show up? Because people seeing that Captain Planet has won this tournament twice with a $200 pot bonus. They're like, well, if he
Right.
can win it, I can win it. I'm going to sneak in here without confirming and get this. And so then it leads to a really high oversaturation of good players. Or like lower end PR players in like a very small tournament setting.
Right. Which in a sense it's good because you get to play good players if you're trying to get good practice. But I've always felt like, because it's weird, because I like can't blame anyone for doing that. but I've always tried to like confirm on Facebook for events I intend to attend.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I don't really have like a good reason for why I do that. I just kind of figured that was expected.
I
But
think it's important because people aren't going to go to an event unless they know other people are going to go to the event. So if people aren't like publicly announcing they're going to these events, even if it's just saying going on a Facebook event, like someone will see this event page, they'll say, "Oh, I have to drive all the way to Wilson to maybe play with 4 people," even if there's a pot bonus. But this is like more general. Uh, this applies more generally to terms without pot bonuses.
right,
They might
because
This
do
I
it.
feel like the pot bonus inverts the like I agree with what you're saying, and I think the pot bonus inverts that dynamic because then you don't want to announce that you're going so that people don't come, because then if you go, you get the pot bonus.
and this
I
is
think. Sorry, go ahead.
something really silly with this that probably only applies to like me and maybe a very small other handful of people. I almost never put that I'm going to an event because if you do that, sometimes it shows up in your Facebook feed. So all your non-Smash friends who don't know that you play Smash say, "What is this that you're going to? What the heck is that?" Which
That
is
is
why I
true.
think I've only confirmed for like 2 tournaments in my entire life. But what I do is I go under the NC Melee post about it and then say, "Oh, I'm looking forward to this" or something like that. That's my way of confirming.
Yeah, that's just good. It's maybe even better because people within the scene are more likely to see that than just checking.
Exactly.
That's
Um,
kind of
I
funny.
think if you want to get the most money out of Bruise, you should say you're going so that other people go, so that Bruise is a well-sustained tournament with a long future, and there's more pot bonuses. That's my take on it. And
That's
it's
a good
also good
take.
for the scene.
I,
So
I've
you
That's
know,
true too.
I've actually thought about going to this tournament a number of times. These are on Tuesday, right?
Wednesday.
Oh, they're on Wednesday. Okay, I actually can't make it for the next few months. But because I have something on Wednesday until like I don't know August or something. But I in the past I've thought about coming so many times because I actually can make it to Wilson. By what like 7 o'clock or something like that. Pretty easily after work. I just have never done it. But I kind of wish like sometime soon that we'd have like a big group go to it and kind of have this become a regular thing. I mean, I think this could be a really cool tournament.
I
Um,
mean, I think so too, but I haven't been to one yet because I've also wanted to go, and I was going to go to this one, but it was announced like way too late, so I
mm,
had scheduled work, which was unfortunate. But um, yeah, what I've heard about it is the venue is great. The person putting up the pot bonus is very interested in seeing this be a successful tournament series. And the good news is that it's apparently under new management, not the venue, but the tournament. Like someone else is going to be running the tournament, and they've said they're very committed to advertising and generating a reason for people to go out there. So the July Brews has already been announced, which is
yes.
great.
What's the day on it?
I don't know, but there was an event page.
Okay, cool.
I think it's always like the first Wednesday. Not 100% sure about that, but
Okay, we'll
it's
take a look at
usually
it.
early in the month. So, and it is always on Wednesday. So hopefully this, I mean, I think it's great. It's kind of unfortunate that it's taken this long for like a good turnout to occur, but it does seem like they are committed to making that happen.
Yeah, being in the
So,
Nash Wilson area, it makes it a little bit tougher because everyone's
right.
west of that. But I think a 1 hour drive for the Triad, or excuse me, for like the Raleigh area, that's not going to be that bad. It's 1 hour. It's actually less than
No.
that to Wilson. It probably takes like 45 minutes.
it's
Oh yeah,
also
that's
like it's a
great.
bar tourney. We don't have bar tourneys in North
Yeah,
Carolina. Like,
exactly.
Yeah,
where else are you gonna get drunk and go to and bracket with the secondaries?
that's true too. In terms of actual upsets, Simon 2-0ing David in losers quarters, I thought was the most notable thing that happened there. David has definitely been out of the game a bit, probably a little rusty, but he was known as being very good at the Fox Ditto, and people have talked about Spencer as being one of the weaker players at the Fox Ditto. So that was very impressive to me that happened. David has said that now he's graduated. He's looking for a job. He's living in Greenville currently, but he's looking to go to more melee stuff. So hopefully we'll see more of him. But yeah, he did say the reason he went to this is he was trying to slide in and win that pop bonus because no one was going.
That's so funny. I bet there's 3 or 4 people of that who did that. I bet
Oh
Dash,
yeah,
Tunnel, well, Tunnel probably just went to play. But yeah, I know some of those people did. Sidward maybe.
yeah. And then Flair beat Sidward, So that's not an upset that I'm particularly surprised about, but it is a PR win, so I felt like it was worth
Sure.
mentioning.
That's two
Yeah.
Marths for Sid then in the week.
I mean,
That is
Flair
true.
and Sid were like trading sets over like the course of 20 sets last season, right?
Oh yeah, they were like, I think they did play almost 20 sets last
Oh
season.
my gosh.
They were like, I don't remember the actual count, especially because a lot of the TDMLs got deleted from GAR, like the smaller ones, but it was something like more than 8-8 against each other. That was just winners finals and grands like so often at those smaller TDMLs. So that's kind of a bit of a rivalry, I guess, that's gone under the radar. But yeah, that can very easily go both ways. So, last event, I guess, to talk about is the Geeks the next week, 51. Twisty went on a bit of a run. He beat Flair in losers round 4, and then he beat me in losers round 5. So he's been kind of a meme because of his personality and his out of game antics, but I think he's always been kind of pretty good at the game when he's on. He has some problem matchups, but really good at spacey matchups, Marth, Sheik, and Puff. So how good is Twisty? Where do we see him ranking in this season? He has a PR one now. Um, Anything about him as a player really? Fox Falco dual main.
I've agreed. I always thought he was a really solid player. Just extremely inconsistent. Like the times
Mm,
that he looks on, he looks very, very good. And then he has tournaments where he goes like 2-2, somewhat often. I feel like, or like
yeah.
3-2, and just has a hard time like getting over that gap.
Do you think that's like a mid-level spacey thing? Because he's talked about how he just needs to get a bracket with no Peach and no Ice Climbers, and he was convinced he would have a performance like this.
Sure, I mean I can see that, but as a mid-level spacer, you can't depend on bracket luck, so
That is true.
that's not
That
really a
is true.
valid reason.
What do you think about dual maining spacies in general at this level
I
of
don't know
play?
how anyone does it. The jump squad is so different that it is like it blows my mind that people can even attempt that. But I mean, if you're good at it, then good for you. But I feel like at the beginning, it's gonna hurt a little bit switching between the two. I don't know how people can be comfortable with that, to be honest.
Yeah, I've like when people have sort of lumped spacies together as, not the same character, but a similar type of character. I've never understood that because it's like they both have a shine, but it's like a very different kind of shine. They have similar moves, but they're all actually really different. And it just feels like a lot of matchups don't play the same on the Fox side or on the Falco side. Like it has never seemed like a more reasonable or logical dual main than almost any other, if you played Marth Fox or Falco Sheik or something. Like I've just kind of never really known why those two characters people tend to play both and switch off of them sort of more often than other combinations. But there was a period where he was talking about going all Falco. He played Fox against me, and I think he played Fox against Flair, but I'm not sure. Um, I generally advocate just being a solo main at this level, but I guess he's making it work. So I should keep an eye out for him. And Eddie G over Peyton, losers round 2. Sorry, over Kakame. That was pretty unexpected. I believe it was a 2-0. And
Yeah,
Peyton
that's
played Ice
uh,
Climbers
that's
game
very
2.
that's very interesting.
People kind of talk about Eddie the same way, actually, where they say when he's on, he looks great. He's just kind of inconsistent. So
I haven't seen him play in so long, to be honest. I don't really have much to say. It was and Peyton was going ices, is that right?
he went Icy's game 2.
Okay,
I think game 1 he might have played Falco.
interesting.
Yeah,
And there's the dual man you were talking about again.
right, exactly.
I
Falco
like
Ices.
never think of like Eddie's Fox. I just remember one time I played him and he started up being like he was on stage, but he just starts up being in neutral for like
Dude,
half
I'll, I'll-
half of FD away. And he just bounces into the stage, lands in front of me, and then up smashes to kill me.
Oh,
dude, Spacey up B, or well, Fox specifically, Fox up B on stage is unpunishable. What are you supposed to do about that? Like, I'll play
Run.
Hassel a lot. Hassel misses jump cancel up smash a lot and somehow gets like running up B at me. I can never do anything about that. He just has flames. I can't grab it. He blasts off and then he's safe. He's actionable faster than he would have been if he just empty landed. So underrated option. Also, you can do the thing that Arun just described, where you use it to trick people, and then suddenly you're in their face up smashing.
You get them when they hit the ground and bounce up. That's the only way. If you can catch them when they hit the ground and bounce before they actually land, that's the punishable part. To be fair,
Mm,
to not be memey about it.
I'll have to look out for that then.
Okay.
Um, one last thing to talk about with Geeks, they are going to be moving venues, and this
Oh
has not been
yeah.
announced uh, officially, but I thought it was important to mention this. But the weekly will be moving to Thursdays once they are at the new venue. It will not be on Tuesdays anymore.
Oh, for real?
So, yeah. So
Ooh.
if that
Okay.
affects anyone's planning, and I think Locke said he was going to do that because there's a lot of Monday tournaments now. He wanted to
Yes.
spread it out a bit. I think that's fine. It's a
Very
good idea.
Yeah,
smart.
that's really nice.
I do think it's good to let people know that as early as possible, because like for me, I kind of make my own work schedule, so I try to build it around when the weeklies are so I can go to them, particularly during the summer. So, I can make that work. I just kind of need to know ahead of time, and maybe other people are in a similar situation. So they're moving at the end of this month. Locke said there might be a week or two where there is no Geeksboro while they're transitioning, but that he hopes it will be started up very soon, and that they will have a stream because Safe State is moving to the Triad, and he's going to be
Ooh.
streaming
Oh, that's
their events.
exciting. Okay. Super
So
exciting.
yeah, a lot of good things happening with Geeksboro. And then there's that Death of Geeksboro event that's coming up at the end of the month for anyone not going to CEO. So keep a lookout for that. Um, Final point of discussion for in-state results. We've talked a lot about like mid-level stuff a lot, but what's emerging as the top-level rivalry this season is Safe versus Tylenol. They are trading sets like crazy. At Geeks 50, Tylenol won 2 sets against Safe, and then at Geeks 51, Safe won in winners, lost set one of grands, but then ultimately won the tournament by winning set two. These are probably the two best Fox players in NC right now. Maybe you could throw Dash in there. I think that's easily the top three, but two of the top three worst case scenario going back and forth at it. I don't know. You guys have any thoughts about this? Is this good for the scene to have Fox Dittos at top level kind of being winners, finals, and grands of most of these tournaments?
A
Who
hundred
do you think
percent.
has the edge?
Yeah. I wish these were streamed so badly. I want to see what they look like. I
I
don't
do
remember the
too.
last time I've seen them play. But every time I see it, like in the bracket, I'm like, man, I wish I could watch this. No, I think having Foxos at the end is great. I think that usually shows normally a pretty strong scene. Back in the day, I used to preach about how NC didn't have enough Foxes, and that um, usually the sign of a good scene are like strong Foxes all over the place. So it's nice that we have a couple of them here at the top.
I think
And
that's super important, having good foxes, because that's like the number one thing you have to be able to deal with when you go out of state. When random mid-level fox from whatever region is super technical and fast, and you can't just kind of gimmick them with up throw arrest and whatnot, shield grabs into wobble.
also like play so differently from each other. Sometimes it's like you have the slip full hop fox versus some people just like laser in the corner and then run away when you approach them. And you
Oh
can only have like
yeah.
one fox in your region. I think it's really easy to over adjust to the way they play and then go out of state and like, oh, this fox is suddenly like playing really aggressively and I'm not used to that. And I don't know how to deal with that.
I
Even though
completely
it's the same
agree.
character, it feels like he has like three different characters set of options on him.
I was talking to Tyler about this at Everybody Loves Peyton. All the top foxes in our state, they all definitely have like moves within his toolkit that they prefer. Like Safe is an up tilter, uh, Alex is a get up attacker, and yeah, Slip was a full hopper. Tylenol really likes fair for some reason. He does that a lot. So yeah, I do wish these were streamed because I always think it's fun watching Fox Dittos once you know stuff about the Fox players and you can say, oh yeah, it's like a classic Safe wake up tilt or whatnot. So
I also think it's really funny that last episode we were saying like, oh, Tylenol like didn't really have a good season and he only got on because of legacy and Safe looks like he's going to be the uncontested number three and then
He
yeah,
gets second,
both of those
first.
are very wrong.
Yeah, second,
right,
first,
yeah,
second. Very, very good start.
yeah. Tylenol is definitely contesting that spot. Um,
Oh no, excuse
but
me.
we'll
Second, first, first, second. So he's got top 2 at all 4 tournaments in the past couple weeks. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's true. He's lost to you and Safe pretty much, I think is it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, you took a set off him, Graham, but
Oh yeah, that's
Oh
right.
yeah, that is true. Yeah, we
Y'all had
traded sets
great
at the
sets.
first Monday tournament. I'm glad those were recorded.
Yeah, me too. Oh, I need to upload those. I should have them up very soon. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. So yeah, I mean, I'm just so happy that this is not going to be like last season. We have tons of activity, tons of locals, a lot of stuff is happening. Not even like crazy upsets, but just
Activity.
A lot of good, activity and good competition. So, looking forward to the next 2 weeks. We have ECG every other Monday. Starting on June 25th, we will have an NCSU weekly on the off Mondays from ECG. So there will effectively be a Monday weekly in the Raleigh area. Both of these tournaments are going to have $5 doubles, which I'm very, very excited about. We didn't even talk about doubles at all, really. But we'll have a weekly in Greensboro that also has $5 doubles on, well, now it's on Tuesdays, but it's going to be on Thursdays at the new location. We have the Brews monthly, which should be continuing. And then there's going to be a big tally event at NCSU on, I believe it's July 14th, but whatever Saturday is around that date, it's going to have $10 singles and $10 doubles.
Woo-hoo!
We've not had a tournament like that in a very, very long time. And tally tournaments are also always just great. So it's looking good.
And we'll have a lot of these streamed as well. Like, you said Save State. Hopefully we'll be able to stream the Geeksboro ones in the future. I'm streaming all the Raleigh ones, both those Monday bi-weeklies. Streaming the tally. The only one I guess that won't right now are the Brews.
Right.
Maybe that can change in the future. I don't know.
Maybe. We'll see.
Anything else before we wrap it up?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we can get to the next segment.
Okay, everyone, welcome to the next segment. Here we're going to talk about the new Nintendo Switch game, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, that is coming out. Woohoo! Yeah, Smush. No, I'm never calling it Smush. Never. Yeah, it's exciting. It's not every day we get a new Smash Brothers game, so I think most of the Smash community, even the Melee purists, as we'll call them, are excited to see this, whether it be good for the Smashing in general or in Melee's case as well. But we'll kind of get onto that at the end. The very beginning, we'll kind of talk about what the game shows. The big thing being that every character ever is returning, which is awesome. I think that's so much smarter than having a ton of new characters, because there's not a lot of new characters that everyone wants. The only one that most people wanted was already confirmed with Ridley. So there's not a ton anymore that people are like, I really want this character, I really want that character. Most people are just saying, I want my old characters to return so I can keep playing them. So I think that was a really smart move, throwing that out there. Is there anyone that y'all are excited that's returning, or that surprised y'all?
I mean, I'm just happy that they're doing that. I've always thought it was silly that they decide, like, oh, well, we're just not going to have Roy in the next game. Well, like, why? There's no way they couldn't have done that at the time, because they had other Fire Emblem characters. And I know that with Snake there were IP issues in terms of getting the rights to him or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like you made this character before and there's kind of nothing wrong with them and people like them, so just bring them all back. And it's really easy to give into the people's insane wish lists about who they want to have in the new Smash game, so that there's 500 characters. And I think it's what they did with this game was good. Just kind of take everything you've done so far. You have this almost 20-year legacy of games, and just make it good. And improve on the stuff that you've already done that people like.
I'm very excited for Pichu, because that character is really fun, but it's terrible at Melee. I think what they kind of showed in Smash 4 was that they're a bit more cognizant of how to make the characters a little bit more balanced.
Mm-hmm.
Really, in general, I think playing lots of the characters that were historically bad in Melee that didn't show up again, or I guess there were a few in Brawl that didn't show up again, but I think they're all good. Um, but like getting to hopefully play a more balanced game and having all these character options. I'm also
Yeah.
really excited for Pokemon Trainer because Pokemon Trainer in Brawl had the dumb energy mechanic where the Pokemon got tired, and
Oh, that was so
so you couldn't
dumb.
actually like solo main a Pokemon because you had to switch at some point. I think now I might be wrong, but I think now the Pokemon are also available as separate options, but you can also just like play Pokemon Trainer and not have to.
No, they're not available as separate, but
Oh,
from what I understand, the energy effect is not there. So I think you can just stick with one if you like to. But you can
And
literally,
you're
you,
not forced to switch when you get
y-
KO'd either.
oh, are you not? I didn't even realize that. But you can
I think
switch out
now
mid combo, which is
right.
nuts.
I know, that's crazy.
this could be like playing a tag fighting game.
It is a little bit, which is pretty cool. And it's funny because I remember watching the trailer, and I was shocked when I saw Cloud. Like they just announced Cloud so quickly in that little trailer. I was like, "What is happening? How did they get him back so easily?" And then it showed Snake, and that was the one that I could not believe when they showed Snake. I was like, "What the heck?" Um, and then when it said everyone's returning, I said, "Really, everyone?" And then they were smart because the very next clip they showed Pichu, which then people were like, "Oh, everyone is returning." So the rest of the trailer, you got to sit back and not worry about your character being shown because you knew they were going to be. Because the entire time after Ice Climbers were shown, I was like, okay, just show Palutena, please, please have Palutena in this game. And then when it said everyone's returning, I'm like, oh, I don't even have to worry about it. She's going to be in there, so I'll just sit back and enjoy the rest of the trailer without having to worry. So
Right.
that was really cool. I was
Do you
smiling
know
like a goof during that entire thing while watching it.
is every stage in the game?
No.
So it's
Oh,
not
okay.
confirmed, but there's a lot of returning stages, and I don't think they've fully announced the stage list. So there's hope.
There's going to
Hmm.
be so many legal stages that most people are saying that there's going to be way too many. Um, and goodness gracious, Smash 4 had a hard time with their stage list. I feel bad for the whoever's running the Smash 5. But it's actually funny because there was a lot of discord between the national level and most local levels. A lot of people, especially the NC Smash 4 scene, kind of hated the national rule set. They didn't really listen to a lot of the things, and eventually, at the very end, NC has kind of done their own thing, like banning Cloud and Doubles, kind of a thing. And I don't know if they did anything with Lilat or not, but I know most people in NC did not like that stage, from what I remember. Things like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if NC's scene actually kind of takes things into their own hands this time, compared to the national level. But there's going to be so many options that people were talking about like rotating stage lists and things like that, kind of like how PM did for a
Hmm.
while. So I guess we'll see. Uh,
Yeah, I was gonna say for FPSs, like I think CS:GO and TF2, the way their leagues run is like you play a match every week, but it's a match on a different map. So I think it would be really, I don't know if it'll happen, but I think it would be really cool to be like, oh, this week at the weekly, like the legal stages are FD and Battlefield, and you can like kind of, I don't know, maybe for Smash it matters less. There's not as much preparing to do per stage, but I think it'd be a
yeah,
really interesting experience. To be like, okay, I'm going to this tournament. I know like I'm going to play on these three stages that I didn't play on last week. I
yes,
think that might spice it up.
and that's how PM did it. Where if I was going to MDVA, especially like the middle, like before it died, or like right, or not before, but like before it was shut down, I should say, or like right after it was shut down. MDVA still had Distant Planet on their stage list, whereas most people took that out. So before, like I would go to a Xanadu, I would have to practice on that stage because I'd need to be ready for it. Or like Yoshi's, a lot of places had Yoshi's story on there, whereas like North Carolina had WarioWare, and you'd have to get ready for the other places. But I don't know. It's going to be hard going from local to national with those stages. You're just going to have to be ready for everything.
I guess I kind of like something about that in that it's almost like uh how different baseball stadiums and baseball are, they're like a little different
Yeah.
where the wall is and stuff, is that it just adds another dimension of like if you're traveling out of state and they have a different stage list. um on the one hand, I do think uniform rule sets are good, but it does kind of add just sort of like a home field advantage kind of thing for a region where they're like players there that are really good on this specific stage that isn't commonly played elsewhere, and that if you're coming in to challenge them, you have to deal with that and adapt to it. And it's also better to have too many options for stages than Melee, where we're just forced into kind of the stage list we have because there's so many stages that just don't work for us.
Yeah, I
So
agree. I like the home field advantage idea that you had. That's a pretty neat way to look at it. Yeah, so hopefully we can see a little bit of that. I think the good thing is that there's gonna be enough stages to be legal. So at least we're
Right.
not like pulling a Smash 64 or anything like that. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
so Graham, I know you said in the past that you were kind of planning on playing the game a little bit. Is that still hold true? You think you're gonna go some locals, see how things pan out if you enjoy playing the game or not?
I'm probably gonna get it and play it on my Switch at the very least. Um, I would consider entering, like, if ECG is going to continue to have Smash Ultimate tournaments on the same night that there's Melee, I think I would consider entering that and see how it goes. I don't know if I would go out to a tournament where there was no Melee being played. I guess I'll put it that way. So if it's being run concurrently, I would look into it. And it's kind of just going to depend on if I can find a character I like. It's kind of the main thing.
Yeah, that
We
was
just talked about
yeah,
there are
that's where
tons
I
of
was
characters.
going to. I wanted to ask, are you excited about anyone that's showing up?
Um, well, the characters, because I played Smash 4 kind of casually, and I played Rosalina and Duck Hunt,
That's
and
hysterical. I did not
I
know that.
probably I probably wouldn't play Rosalina in Smash 5, and I probably wouldn't play Jigglypuff because I am pretty sure she's going to be bad. Um, I feel like a lot of what makes Jigglypuff fun is that she has attributes in Melee that the rest of the cast doesn't. But then in games like Brawl and Smash 4 and Smash 5, where everyone is kind of floatier and has better recoveries, and it's like the edge that she has is just kind of common to a lot of characters. So I'm gonna have to play with it and see. But if I find someone that I like playing, then I would probably enter events, even if I didn't really practice the game or try really hard to be good at it. If there's someone that I enjoy, I'd be totally fine playing it casually. So like entering ECG locals, but it'll just depend. It'll depend on how it is once I get my hands on it.
Sure. How about you, Arun?
I think I don't know. My whole thing is like even in Melee, if I just like try playing not Peach for a few games, I get really bored and find it really unfun. And I don't imagine that going to a whole different game and playing like a whole different character, or just like playing a very different meta is going to be that interesting to me.
Sure.
I'll probably just like play casually, like maybe if I'm just at home and have nothing better to do, just play online, try random characters. I'm excited for a game that Zelda's good in. Hopefully,
I
we'll
don't
see.
think she'll be good. I think she'll still be trash. There's no way that character will ever be good at any game. It's just impossible.
If Zelda's like also Zelda's hella cute. We
Oh, it's
mentioned that.
so good. This new Zelda design is so good compared to the rest of them.
So yeah, I might like mess around with her. I kind of want to. I liked Corrin in Smash 4, but I didn't really. I've only played Smash 4 like 2 times, so I
Dang.
might mess around with her. But no, I think ultimately, like, I'm probably just gonna stick with Melee because that's what feels comfortable to me,
Sure.
and I can't really imagine like anything else. Just seems kind of unfun. I'd rather just be playing Melee.
Yeah, that makes total sense. Um, I'm definitely pumped about four characters. Well, I hope the game. I hope I enjoy the game because the way Smash 4 worked for me, I enjoyed playing it for a long time. I really like a lot of the community members in it. It's actually one of my favorite parts because some of the community is really, really cool, and I've always enjoyed going out with them. I'm at events and stuff like that afterwards if I can. So I'm excited to kind of meet up with them and have new players in the scene, things like that. But at the end of the Smash 4 life cycle, I just kind of realized I didn't enjoy competing in it that much anymore. Me and Izzy and Gata would play so much, and we all have like a melee style of playing that after playing each other, like, okay, well, we're improving, and then we would go to a tournament and play against Smash 4 only players, and things would be very different with the way the game was played. It didn't even feel like I was playing the same game anymore, and it got so frustrating that I kind of realized after Famicom I didn't really enjoy playing it anymore. So I hope that's not the case with Smash 5, but I'm definitely going to give it a lot of chances. It's going to take a lot for me to realize I don't enjoy playing this game. I'll probably play it for quite some time, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully I have fun. Hopefully I do well at it, but we'll see. Um, Definitely excited about Ice Climbers, even though Sakurai butchered their grab, so they're not a grappler anymore, which is very sad because I love grappler characters.
Oh, you can only do like double down smashes that do 40% and kill at 50. How sad.
Yeah, how sad. I know. So that's the good part because they still hit like a truck. It looks like their back air, their fair, their down smash, like you said. They still do have desyncs, though. The way you set it up is going to be a little bit strange. I don't think it's going to be anything too bad. Like you can still do double short hop blizzard, like one blizzard, next blizzard, like PM Brawl. That's amazing. So they'll have a lot of tricks up their sleeve. I don't think they're going to be bad by any means. So we'll see. I just want to be able to grab a lot of people, so that's a little disappointing. Um, yeah.
I
So
do
that
want
was the
to.
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, no, no. Keep going.
I did want to go back to one of the things you said, which was like I think I kind of agree with when you said Smash 4 is really fun when you're playing with your friends who aren't like super competitive. I just remember with SmashCon I had to enter Smash 4 because my teammate flaked for doubles and I couldn't get refunded, so I just transferred my entry. I just remember like I don't know, people who actually play the game it's a game where it feels like just trying to if you're not good, it feels like a game where trying to commit to anything is a bad option.
Exactly. That you have it right. Unless you're very good at the game, playing defensive is what you want to do. And I really hope that Smash 5 takes that out. Like I was even playing Smash 4 just the other day with Izzy because he was like, "Let's prepare for Smash 5." I said, "Okay." And one game I decided not to approach the entire time, and that was like one of the best games I played. And I was like, "Oh, that's unfortunate." So I kind of hope that's not going to be the case with Smash 5. But everyone's saying it's so fast. But I'm not going to trust anything until we get the game. I'm not going to trust what all the people are saying at all.
Yeah, I think also Shields felt really strong in Smash 4, but I think in this game, Shield stun's higher, and I think some people are suggesting to the devs that it should be even higher. So, just sitting in Shield isn't going to be a totally safe option.
Yeah, I agree with that. We'll talk about the mechanics a little bit later. I'm about to get onto that here. I want to go into it real quick, but also very excited about Pit and Palutena, of course. Pit is super boring in Smash 4. I've never dropped a character that hard in my entire life because I love that character, so it was really disappointing with how boring he was to me in Smash 4, and it probably will be the same way in Smash 5. But the mechanic of being able to do stuff out of your dash might really help that with him. So I have a little bit of hope for him. And Palutena, of course, she still has her ridiculously terrible tilts, and her specials don't seem too interesting. She doesn't have her speed ones, it looks like, which is sad. But I'll play her a lot because she was one of my better characters in 4 as well. And of course, Daisy was the one surprise that I freaked out about because Peach ended up being my main at the end of Smash 4's life cycle. She's the most fun character to me. And so to have like one of my favorite characters be the same character as her, I was very excited about. So I'll definitely be playing a lot of Daisy, especially if she plays the same way as Peach, which of course she will because she's an Echo Fighter. So
I'm very excited to not have to associate with Daisy Mints.
woohoo! We'll be our own breed now. It's very exciting. We'll actually know who the cool kids are. But I think that's it for like kind of the basics. We can kind of get into the competitive aspects of the game. Earlier I talked about, or just a second ago, I said something about being able to do options out of your run now. So in Smash 4, you could do up smash and dash attack, and grab. I believe that was it. And of course, like your specials and things like that. But now you can do jab, you can do F smash, down smash. That's going to be a fantastic mechanic in my opinion because one of the biggest deals about Smash 4 is that committing to an option is such a big deal. It's the one thing that whenever those really stupid arguments on Reddit and Twitter are happening about Smash 4 or Smash 5 versus Melee or whatever's going on, and the Melee people were being stupid and then the Smash 4 people were being stupid by saying, oh, all the options are still the same. The committal option is the biggest deal in my opinion. Is that a lot of the players who've never played Melee don't understand how committed you feel in later iterations compared to Melee, because the Melee can stop your tracks with Wave Dash or Dash Dance like any second you want and change it, and you cannot do that in the later ones. And I really think that Smash 5 has a chance to do that where, like, let's say you're tech chasing, I wonder if you can stop and then, or you can be in your run, jab and turn around and things like that, hopefully making it easier to like change how committed something is, if that makes sense.
No, it's just more movement options,
Yeah.
right? More like control over where you can put your character in various situations.
Yeah, it's also just like other ways to. I think this is kind of stepping to another thing they're reintroducing with like dash dancing. It's another way you can sort of exert pressure on your opponent without committing to anything. It's like that's kind of what's fun about Melee is like there's lots of non-committal options that still apply pressure and kind of interweaving these with each other rather than just like, oh, when I play Smash 4, it's like casually I'm just going to kind of swing because I don't really have a good way to non-committally pressure my opponents.
That's right.
Right.
Except run up shield, which is one of the biggest things about Smash 4. Run up shield is so important, which
Yeah,
sucks.
which is
I hate run up shield. So, we talked a second about dash dancing, and it's not going to be that good. I can go
No,
ahead and
yeah.
tell you. So
It's
that's
not
not
melee dash dancing at all,
no
but
wave landing is probably going to be bad.
Yeah,
The
I heard it has a ton of like landing lag when you do it. Like
Yeah,
I
that's what it
heard
looks
30
like.
frames or something.
I know. I think I heard like 18. I don't know which is true though. The biggest hope that I have for it is that you can do more ledge options because
Mm.
being at the ledge in Smash 4 and probably the same with Ultimate is going to be very difficult. It that's like being in the corner in a fighting game. It makes sense, but being on the ledge is terrible for Smash 4. And probably for Smash 5 as well.
I mean, one thing that Melee I think does very well for the most part. There are exceptions, but being on the ledge, you're in a disadvantaged position, but you do still have options. You can still win the situation by mixing your opponent up or
Sure.
being clever about, which options you're picking when. But it's not, I mean, other than, Fox on the ledge, who it's like an advantageous position for him almost. A lot of characters, you're clearly kind of in the corner, but you can play your way out of it if you're good. So that's what I think good like ledge mechanic design would be. They still have ledge trumping. Is that correct?
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so
Which
I
is
mean,
which if you yeah, and which I'm not a big fan of, but people have made it competitive, so it's whatever to me.
I feel like it can work. I thought the main problem with it wasn't the actual ledge trumping, but the fact that if you ledge trump someone, you basically get a free back air on them, or like it's really easy to then hit them out of the forced get off animation or
So
whatever.
the mix up with that is that if you buffer roll in Smash 4 and I think Smash 5 also if you buffer regular get up now, I think they confirmed, you do not get trumped. So as long as you
Mm,
buffer it beforehand, so that's where the mix up is. Where if you're going to see on the edge, if you think your opponent's going to be on the edge, you go ahead and ledge trump them and then back air them. But if you do that and they buffer a roll, now you're the one on the edge. So that's the mix up there.
okay.
Um,
just want
yeah.
to remind people not every top tier in melee has ledge options. Anyway,
Well, yeah, that's also some characters are better on the ledge than others. Peach also has ledge options. They're just
Bad.
yeah, they're just not
yeah, I can
good.
mix up a regular get up and get up attack.
That's how
I
it
can
feels
easily
like in
roll
Smash
in.
4. That's how Smash 4 feels like. He feels so trapped the entire time. It's awful.
Hey, maybe I'll be good at this new game then because I'll know how
Maybe
to mix up these three ledge options.
because I have no idea because I don't ever do anything but ledge dash in Melee. I legitimately I never do anything but ledge dash or tournament
Well, yeah,
winner.
because ices, it's like 100% of the time that's what you should do.
Mm-hmm.
That's always the best thing to do.
Yep.
So that's the one thing that I think Melee doesn't do well with it is that there's some like Fox is kind of this way too. You don't ledge dash all the time because of the risk reward executionally because it's hard, but it's like there's no reason to ever do anything else. You just always ledge dash.
Sure.
It's so much better than anything else he has. But I feel like Marth in particular has like good mix up. I mean, his ledge options are weaker, but he has like a good array of mix ups, I would say. Puff, I also think is kind of similar. She does have a ledge dash, believe it or not. You can do the let go turnaround bear thing. You can tournament winner. So it's tough to balance that because I do think in bad situations you do want to have some way to play yourself out of it. You don't want to just be like, well, I'm in the corner, so I lose. It doesn't matter what I do. I'm on the ledge, so I lose. It doesn't matter what I do.
Yeah,
So I
fun.
hope they balance that well.
Yeah, and it's real bad on the edge, which is fine because it should be that way. A funny thing about Smash 4 Ledge is that tournament winner is not a known phrase in their vocab
That would
because
make sense.
ledge jump is a legitimate option for them. Like it's one of their like pretty good options. I went over to like a few pretty good like PR'd Smash 4 players and asked them, "Do you know what a tournament winner is?" Or it just kind of came up in conversation, and they had no idea. And they're like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Yeah." So this very different the way the ledge is played in the two games. Um, any other kind of execution things in the game that interest you, like competitive aspects. There's a 3 frame jump squat which will make things pretty fast, which I
For
like.
every character,
Every
every
character.
character.
I like that. I'm very much a fan of that.
I think
But
the
yeah,
way the game engine is going, I would also agree. I think this is good for it.
it's going to be needed because the way the knockback works now, I think the knockback is extremely ugly. And I think most people agree. I
Yeah.
really hate the knockback in this game so far. It's the most unappealing thing because they get knocked back so quickly and then stop. It really threw me off when I was watching the Invitational about like what is happening with these characters that are getting hit. They immediately look like they're gonna die and then just stop before they even like get close to the blast zone.
Yeah, that strikes me as something that I could maybe get used to, and I would hope that it ends up working out better for how the game plays than it looks. Because right now, I agree, it just looks terrible. But um, I don't know, because I guess like so you get knocked back and then you just lose all your momentum once you're out of hit stun, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you would normally be actionable at the point where you stop anyway, in like melee, for example. Usually you would do a move or jump out of, and it doesn't completely stop your momentum, but it like slows it down. Or I guess, Fox Shine would stop his momentum, so we do already have that. But yeah, I don't know. I'd have to like play the game and really, because it looks bad to me,
Yeah.
but it's hard to tell before actually experiencing it, I think, for
Yeah,
something like
I,
that.
I agree. Any other things that kind of excite you about the game before we kind of get into the more like the scene, the national scene about it?
Well, there is the thing about in teams, like
Oh
attacks
yeah,
do less knockback. Or I don't know if it's less damage too or just less knockback, but I really didn't like that.
no,
I feel like that it, there's just so much about teams that I think is already hard enough to keep track of how much different stuff is going on, but then to be like, oh yeah, and universally all your moves work differently.
You don't get
I
it.
mean,
You just don't even get some of the combos you might get, or vice versa. Like
right,
sometimes
even
in teams you're just 1v1ing someone, you just like pull off a combo while your teammate stalls, and now you'll have to adjust for
exactly.
the fact that you're playing a totally different character while trying to auto combo someone.
Exactly. Um, so I think that's unfortunate, especially because Smash games as casual endeavors have always been sort of, oh, you and your friends all get to play, and so it always just kind of shocks me when in the one legitimate like multiplayer competitive format that we have, that it's things like this are not considered. That I don't want to say this will ruin doubles, but I'd be kind of surprised if this turns out to be a positive change for
That
that
being said,
format.
you can always adjust damage ratio, right?
oh please don't talk about that. That's a meme. Lord,
Oh,
gosh,
that's
especially
also a
don't
reason not to have it.
do not talk about that with Smash 4 players, please. They might like choke you out or something.
Well, also, it's like that's the reason this change shouldn't exist, right? Like, if we wanted less knockback in teams, we could just set it ourselves in the menu.
Yeah. Well, the trend has never been, well, what do the players want? Maybe we should give them the control so that they can get what they want out of the
Yeah,
game.
that's not gonna happen. So we'll
Yeah,
just kind of do what we can do
that's
ourselves.
never been even crossing their mind. So, is that it as far as like mechanic stuff
I think so.
and like game engine things?
Before I move to the national scene part of it, I'm just gonna say I really hope Ken is the Echo Fighter for Ryu. That's the only
Mm.
other hope I have now. I think that'd be super cool. Um, but yeah. Anyway, um, so we'll talk about the more national scene here. So the biggest thing being that Genesis has been announced, and they have signups for Ultimate, but not for Smash 4, which in my opinion makes complete sense because I don't see almost anyone saying, "Oh, I want to play Smash 4 instead of Ultimate." We had a bit of that in the past, and we still have that a bit with Brawl, where there's the Brawl lovers. But that one makes a tad more sense to me because there was such a huge divide between Melee and Brawl that it doesn't surprise me that like so many people had like they just started loving Brawl so much because it was just one of those two. There was no other option, and that was it for a long time. So when a new game came out that was honestly quite a bit different than Brawl, people wanted to stay there in Brawl. But Smash 4 to Smash 5 looks very similar in my opinion. I don't see many people being like, I'm a Smash 4 purist. I don't see that happening.
So lots of people did jump ship from Brawl to Smash 4, right?
Oh,
Like the
a
Brawl
very
suite.
high majority. It's still strange to see, but there are those small minority of Brawl players who do not like Smash 4.
Well,
It's
I
out
thought
there.
it too. Also, there was like people might play Smash 4, but the Brawl tournaments getting entrance was almost more of a nostalgia kind of thing.
It
Like
is, but there are some people you see that are like, we
that
play
are
Brawl
dedicated
only.
Brawl. Wow.
Yes, yeah, they're out there. I don't honestly, and I see them like I wouldn't say often, but I see them.
Well,
Um,
they're at majors and stuff, right?
yeah,
Where
and
they
I see them
have
on like a
Brawl
Twitter and
tournaments.
stuff too. So,
Huh.
yeah, they're out there, but I don't think we'll see almost any of that with Smash 4. Most people in Smash 4 are so ready to move on. The scene really is dying. Um, the top players like, please just give me Ultimate already. I'm so tired of this,
I
which I
mean,
don't blame
is
them.
there going to be any kind of nostalgia factor for Smash 4? Like, are there going to be Smash 4 events at, like GOML or SmashCon?
I don't think
Or
so.
do you think people are just going to completely be like, we're done with this,
Yeah,
let's just play Smash 5?
yep. I don't see any reason to keep Smash 4. I see a reason to keep Brawl a small amount. I think Smash 4 that's it. It's over after that, which is fine. I think that's totally cool.
I've also been joking like that Smash Ultimate's basically just Smash 4.5.
Yeah.
So like running Smash 4 and Smash Ultimate at the same tournament might be like running Melee and like SD Remix at the same tournament. Like
Yeah, could you imagine going to Ultimate and then playing Smash 4 where Bayonetta just ladder carries you and you die? I mean, that would kind of suck. No one's going to want to do that, so.
I would enter an SD Remix tournament. You can just see my SD Remix Bowser.
Oh my gosh.
also at some point Smash 4's online support is going to go down once the
Hmm.
Wii U is officially quote unquote dead as a console. So
That's true too.
Um, so I think that's pretty much it for that. Because we don't know much. We talked about the stage list a little bit, so we'll kind of see how that plays out. We'll have to wait for the game to come out. So we got 6 months. The biggest thing that I want to talk about in this podcast about Smash 5 or Smash Ultimate or whatever, is the interactions between the Melee scene and the Ultimate scene. This is going to be a huge factor, and I really hope that Melee players can take advantage of this by not being complete douchebags. And it's going to happen. So guess what? You're going to be at a tournament, and there's going to be some people who say something like snarky about Melee that are like 15 years old. They're younger than Melee, here to play Smash 5, and you have the opportunity to say something back or just to let it go. You also have times where um, you're probably not gonna be provoked, and people will say stuff about Smash 5 when they're Melee players, and there's gonna be some terrible things that are gonna happen between the two scenes. And I really hope. I just want to say, please, just think before you talk. Don't be an idiot. Basically, we
It's
have
a
a
good
very
rule.
rare opportunity where people. There's a lot of people in the Melee scene now that started with Smash 4 that came over here. Like Tyro, he was a Smash 4 player. I met him at a Chapel Thrills, and he was asking for people for Smash 4 money matches, and eventually he switched over. And I guarantee there's a number of people at every local we go to that started with Smash 4. So as long as you aren't, you don't push so hard, you just be, you be cool basically. Show the other scene that we're a good community, worth checking out. I think we'll have a good influx of new players in the next couple years because of it.
I just want to say that I never went to Smash 4 tournaments, but I played Smash 4 casually, and I didn't know that Melee was still played competitively at the time. I hadn't seen the documentary, I hadn't heard anything people having Melee tournaments, and it was through Smash 4 that I started playing Melee, because once I got into that and was on the internet and Reddit, it was like, oh wait, people still play Melee? That's crazy. And then remembering that I used to really like the game and then kind of seeing that it was a deeper, more technical game than Smash 4. So, I mean, you never know. You never know who's going to start off in Smash 5, not even because they like or prefer the game necessarily, but it's the newest game. And to a lot of people, that's just kind of what you go to. If you're like a new RTS player, you're not going to be playing Brood War right off the bat because it's just not going to be the game that you're kind of handed and like, here's the latest thing, go out and buy it. You can actually get this in a store.
yeah, I think especially for Melee, because if you want to play Melee, I either have to figure out how to set up an emulator and buy an adapter, which it's honestly like it's not super hard, but it's not the most trivial thing to do.
It's not
Or you
super
need to
accessible.
or we need to invest in this console that's been, out of production for years and invest in a CRT. And there's a really high barrier to entry that, maybe someone should use Smash 5 as a step along the way. So they
Right.
join the Smash 5 community because, they probably have a Switch, they probably have a TV at home. And, now they have Melee friends and you can invite them to your house to play friendlies. And there you go. There's their gateway.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be important not to be like pushy, like because the whole thing, the goal is that the one unit thing was kind of a meme. It really was because it was dumb because they try to push it way too hard. But it is true that the newest iterations of Smash and Melee both reciprocate off of each other. So the fact that there's so much like strife between the two is really stupid to me. So basically, I just want to say, be cool with the other community. If there's the opportunity to show them Melee, do it, but don't push it. Just be cool.
Yeah. No, we're not the drug dealers.
Agree.
But,
Exactly.
Smash.
Exactly. We
I
don't
think
need
it also does.
Yeah.
It also does go both ways, right? Like we should also try out Smash 5. Maybe it'll be a fun game. Like
Mm-hmm.
we won't really know until it's out. Brawl is a very good example. We don't really know how the game's going to be until it's out, except in the other direction. But like if Melee people are cross-entering Smash 5 because they genuinely enjoy the game, I think that's like the ideal outcome. And
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I'll definitely be entering it, and I'll always try to like rep the Melee community as much as I can. Just if you enter it and you don't like it, don't say that to the Smash 5 players. Just go on your way and then complain about it to Melee players when they're not in earshot. Just don't complain about the game to them. That's not what they want to hear, and we don't want to hear people complain about Melee to us. So yeah, just be smart about it.
I love when people complain about Melee, though.
And
anyway,
then yeah, and
before this gets too touchy-feely.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just not a good look to get in fights with people that play other video games.
Because
I
that
mean,
definitely happened a couple years ago.
The reason we have to mention this is because this has happened. Smash 4, and it makes it, you might do something and it looks bad to you, but then unfairly, but that's how it happens, is that all Melee players in North Carolina that get lumped into that, and
Mhm.
like, well, all Melee players are just jerks, and that doesn't do any of us any good.
I've heard
So-
that a lot from the Smash 4 scene.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
A lot. So it kind of sucks. But it's just like you have to play we're not all jerks game the entire time you're with them. So it's not very fun when starting off on the wrong foot.
Yeah.
So
Also, even if you're just totally selfish, if the Smash 5 community like thrives, that means Nintendo makes more GameCube controllers.
that's right.
And I don't want to spend $60 on a vanilla GameCube controller again if I can.
That's a good point.
Just don't be insecure either. Melee's gonna be fine. I promise. We're not gonna just die.
And and if it's not, it has nothing to do with Smash 5.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing about I completely agreed. And Smash 5 for about a year and a half is going to have better viewership than Melee. So just get over it because Melee will still thrive just like it was. Because Smash 4 had way more viewership at the beginning than Melee did. And look what happened now. Smash 4 can like barely get over 10,000 ever, which sucks. But I mean, it's just the way it is. And Melee is still doing very well. But I think that's pretty much it for everything. Is there anything else you wanted to say about the game? Anything you are excited about, looking forward to, or just any last words about it?
If you could force one mechanics change before release, what would it be?
Dash dancing.
Float
Like,
cancels.
Float cancels. Well, doesn't everyone effectively have?
Yeah. There's no need for float cancel really in the game, in my opinion.
Well, I thought everyone just had like their quote-unquote L cancel ending lag. Whereas
Yeah.
float cancel is just completely ignoring that. So
I guess. I don't know if it'd be the biggest deal. Dash dancing in neutral would be such a big deal.
oh yeah, no, I know this like only affects my character.
Sure,
it's a really
sure,
minor
sure.
change, but I just want float canceling in every melee. or in every
Peach
Smash
doesn't
game.
really need float canceling in Smash 4. Just the way she works, in my opinion. But, handoffs. I want handoffs.
They want to undo the one like big icy thing they confirmed.
Exactly.
That's fair, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
No, go ahead.
No. Yeah, go for it.
I was gonna say I want Rest to be as big as Fox's Shine,
Oh.
however big that is. And then I would play Puff.
Well, Jigglypuff is humongous in Smash 4, so it might
I know,
already
it's really
be.
weird
It
looking.
is. So her rest box probably is pretty big, to be honest. but it sucks because it doesn't kill till like 70 or 80 or something like that.
Okay, yeah, it would have to be like melee strength rest, so not it doesn't have to kill at 0 in center stage, but like 20 to 30 should probably be killing in center stage, and it needs to be massive. It needs to be so big so that you don't even have to be touching the character.
Oh,
It can kind of
gosh.
be and you're dead.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Anything else before we wrap it up?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool. On to the next segment.
Alright, welcome to the trivia segment. In this recurring segment, Graham and Tyler embark on a lifetime battle of wits to see who knows more about random things on Melee. So we're keeping a running tally. Last episode, Graham won, so he's up 1-0. So this week I prepared another game show. This one is about top player tweets. So I looked up some of the top 25 players' Twitters, and I found some of their most liked tweets. So the way this will go is I'll just read you the tweet, and you have to tell me who said it. And again, these are all top 25 players, so that should hopefully narrow things down.
Okay, I guess we can't look at the top 25 list, can we?
I think towards the end it'll be kind of obvious if you do. So yeah, let's say
Okay.
you can't.
Okay, that's cool.
That we can't. Okay.
You cannot.
Okay.
I mean, you should know most of them anyway. You're both stats nerds, right?
Yeah,
Anyway.
more or less.
If you guys are ready, let's get started. Okay, so the first tweet I want you to tell me the author of is: getting to grand finals is like touching yourself, but winning grand finals is like having that special someone touch you.
Yeah, and we're just gonna message this to you. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. Oh. Okay, so this is an interesting one.
Good tweet.
I will go ahead and tell you these should start out easy and then get harder.
Okay. Do you have yours in?
Yeah, you
Hi-fi?
both got it in. So I mean, this one should be pretty obvious. You want to tell me who it is?
So, this is SFAT, right?
Yes, so this is SFAT. So the original was about CRT.
Net
versus
play.
Netplay.
Okay, so I wasn't
But
sure if someone was
he's-
playing off of him. I was a little bit worried because I knew the one was about like net play.
That
or
one
CRT
was
or
a little
whatever.
bit of a bait and switch. But
Okay.
yes, it was SFAT.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Next up, sat next to a teacher. She was correcting test all flight. One of my mans got every answer wrong, and I was like, "Das my dog."
Yeah, I already know this one. I remember seeing this one.
Yeah. So I mean, again, this one should be pretty clear. Someone want to tell me who it is?
Hi-fi?
Mango.
Yep.
Yeah, it was Mango. Not much to say there. I also tried my best to say dog with 5 G's, but I don't think I quite got it.
Dog.
Also, man's with a Z. Alright, another fairly straightforward one. Told my dad I'm giving up alcohol to get better at Smash. He responds with, "What about Adderall?" then giggles at me.
I would not have known that or guessed it until I guess the end, if it's right.
So Tyler, you want to tell me what your guess was?
I said Westballs.
It was Westfalls, but
Okay.
you got that one right. So far an even game, but again, things will get harder. Alright, next up. I don't like playing on 20XX because it takes away the few black frames after a game ends when I get to look at my own reflection in the CRT.
Yeah, I remember this one as well.
Graham, why don't you tell me who this is?
Crush.
This was Crush.
Yep.
That one's not as memorable, but you can kind of just tell who it was by the.
I remember that because I remember that was so relatable. I was
Wait,
like,
what?
I mean,
Okay.
the moment where you this black and you just see yourself looking at the screen, you're like, oh, this looks terrible.
gonna
Yeah,
have
no,
to quote,
super relatable.
I'm gonna have to get Shark's ego to quote that a Crush sheet was relatable.
Oh boy.
Alright, next up. Lol, I forgot, that's forgot without a G, about the medal presentation, and everything so far is in all caps, and then fucking whoops.
Oh gosh, what was this?
The metal.
Oh, I know this. Yeah, I know this. I
MEAL.
know this. Yeah, I got it.
one's hard. Melee players are not very good about showing up to things that aren't their sets, and even then, melee players are pretty bad about showing up to their sets. For example, Wizard. Anyway, so this is the first one you guys disagreed. So, Graham, why don't you tell me who you thought it was?
Mewtwo King.
Okay, Tyler, who did you think
This
it
was
was?
Plup.
It was Plup. I don't think I could. Mewtwo King wasn't a bad guess. But I don't think I could imagine Mewtwo King saying "fucking whoops" on a tweet.
That's true.
That's fair.
I would love to hear him say that in real life.
What tournament was that? Because I remember the tweet. It was an
It's-
Evo or something, right?
It was Evo 2015, the one where
Okay.
Plup beat Leffen with Samus after spilling beer on his
Dang, it was
controller.
that long ago? Nuts. Okay. Phew.
Okay, so Tyler has taken the lead, but there's still a few more to go. So, next one is, for those asking why I changed into Zelda in Grand Finals, I was trying to charge Cloud's limit. Lol. Yeah, so Graham, you want to tell me who it was?
That one's Mewtwo King.
Oh, what is you?
It has to be, right? I mean, who else would play Smash 4?
I guess, yeah, I guess actually no one else is top 25 in Melee plays Smash 4.
No one other than Mewtwo King who's top 100 plays Smash 4.
Well, technically there was ESAM, though he's not top 100.
Oh,
anymore,
that's true.
but-
That's true.
Right. I'd say this is the last easy one, and it'll get slightly harder. I really thought that was a free-for-all match. Lol, I'm sorry, Mr. R.
Yeah, that's funny. Was that really heavily liked?
That was one of his most liked tweets of all time, I
That's
think.
nuts. Oh my gosh.
I mean, it makes sense,
it
right?
makes
Because
sense.
that's one where the Smash 4 community would see it, and also
Yeah, that's true. Do both of us have it in?
yeah, both of you now both of you have it in. Good
Oh,
timing.
no.
So Tyler, who do you think it was?
Lucky.
Yeah, Graham also guessed it was Lucky.
Let's go.
Okay, it now get harder. So Graham, this is your chance for a comeback. Well, this one, it'll be hard if you haven't seen it, but if you've seen it, it's very memorable. You are so goddamn annoying, man. I'm actually done with you. I can't stand your personality any longer. I gave it a serious try.
I just want to emphasize, by the way, for the viewers, I don't have a Twitter account.
Yeah, Graham also joined the scene very recently, so some of these might actually be before his time.
I feel like I remember this one.
Don't I qualify as old, new NC at this point?
I think it's 3 years. I don't think you've quite made it.
So I'm still old or new NC.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
I just want everyone to know that.
So we do have both answers in. So Graham, you go first.
Armada.
Say
Tyler, who do you
H-Box.
think it was? So it was Armada. It was in
Dang.
response to Leffen tweeting about something along the lines of Peach players just being like lazy.
That's right. I remember this because this was when like he was labbing the Peach stuff. Ah, that's right. Okay.
But for the record, Peach does have no ledge options. I just want to make that clear.
Dang. yeah.
Anyway, so the next one is a picture. I can't really show you the picture on a podcast, so I'll just describe what the picture is.
Okay.
So the first picture is a pizza box from Little Caesars.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
I know
can't you
this.
show us the picture though?
I think I already know
I'm
this.
trying to make it good for the viewers.
Oh, okay.
So the second picture is a knife going
Yeah.
through the Little Caesars.
So
pizza box.
this got stolen recently and got like 100,000 tweets somewhere, and I was like, oh my gosh, this was totally from Blank's Twitter. Yeah, I remember this one. I thought that after I saw the 100,000 one, I thought that this person had actually stolen it, but I was like, wait, no, this actually just is their tweet that got stolen.
I didn't actually know that part of that.
Yeah, I saw
you
it. I saw it
redescribe
a
it?
couple days ago,
So
or about
it's
a
two
couple weeks ago.
pictures. The first picture is just a Little Caesars pizza box. The second picture is like a kitchen knife, like a really sharp, long kitchen knife, going through the Little Caesars pizza box. So it's by someone who I guess hates Little Caesars.
Boo! Little Caesars is good, delicious. Terrible pizza, delicious.
That's just not true.
It's
Since we
delicious.
started talking about pizza.
No,
this podcast.
no. Alec has a quote that says, "Bad pizza is still good food," and I completely agree.
All right, you guys want to give me your guesses? Graham, you go first.
I said Hungry Box.
It is Hungry Box. Yep.
It is
Yes,
Hungry
that was
Box.
a total shot in the dark.
Hungry Box considers himself a foodie, so it makes sense.
I'm mad. I thought it was my chance to take the lead again. Gosh darn it.
He definitely does love food.
He's also a memer, so like you gotta think of like he would put something like that on there.
Well, I mean, there are quite a few top 25 Smash players who are memers, though.
True, true.
So, like, if I told you it was a picture of Taquito on the floor, it would be pretty clear who it was.
I actually don't know what that is.
Oh, that one's Flop. Flop has a
Oh,
very famous tweet.
that's right. I think I've seen that maybe. Okay. Anyway,
Okay, next one up. A vote for Tempo S2J is a vote for not getting in through drawing dicks on your face. A vote for S2J is a vote for Melee.
You say that one more time.
Yes, a vote for Tempo S2J is a vote for not getting in through drawing dicks on your face. A vote for S2J is a vote for Melee.
Hmm.
It's challenging because everyone likes S2J, so...
this is tough.
I guess I technically haven't said this, but I don't think it's mattered so far. There are no duplicates, so...
Yeah, I was gonna ask, but I figured there wasn't gonna be.
So you know, for example, that this isn't Mango.
Yeah. Gosh darn. Do you have yours in, Graham?
I do.
Okay, I'm just gonna throw something out there. I don't think this is right though.
Oh, okay, Graham, what did you guess?
I said none.
I also said none.
This was actually Leffen.
Ah, dang.
Because
We're referencing
Leffen
Shoot
is-
at, right?
Yeah, it was about not letting in chew that. Leffen has also just been generally vocal about, like, some players not selling themselves out. Going all the way back to the first zone, really, where, like, Zoo said he'd play Sheik in bracket if he got in. Leffen was like, you shouldn't do that, that's really dumb. Why would anyone vote you in if you did that?
Yeah.
Alright, so still a tie, but not because you both got it right this time.
How many more do we have, if you don't mind me asking?
There are 5 more,
Sick,
so
okay.
this just came down to a
Ooh.
best of 5, more or less. Alright, next up, me. Hey, how much do I owe? Bartender. Oh, it's free for you. You're Mango, right? Me. Oh, no, I'm not. Bartender. All right, it'll be $7 then.
This
that
was
was long,
this was a
so
recent
if-
one, wasn't it?
I think so. I don't actually remember. If you need me to repeat that, it was kind of long, so I can. More or less, the gist is someone who a bartender mistakes for Mango and then offers a free beer to, and then the person says they're not Mango, and then they have to pay. This is also why I didn't want you to have the list open, because I don't want you like face smashing Mango and everyone else and seeing who looks less similar.
This is hard.
I have no idea.
Mm. All right.
I have no idea. I can't even think of any more in the top 25 to be so bad. I know it's not this, but I'm just gonna put it out there because it doesn't make sense. But oh well, we'll put it out there.
All right, Graham, your guess?
I said axe.
I thought Axe. I put S2J even though I know they look nothing alike.
It's actually Hugs.
Oh
No,
gosh.
S2J was a good guess because he is in SoCal and is friends
know-
with Mango.
Yeah.
You know why I didn't get that? Because I didn't think Hugs was a top 25 player anymore.
I didn't either. I was gonna put actually Mike Hayes, but I didn't think Mike Hayes was top 25 either. I think he's like
Mike
top
Hayes
30.
is actually top 25.
Is he?
He's,
Okay.
He's number 25.
Dang.
Oh,
Okay.
dear.
He's just very barely in there. All right, next one up. Holy shit, I just lost to hard work and friendship. WTFFFFFFF. That's 7 Fs, if that matters.
Oh yeah, that's big. The problem at this point is I don't know if these people are top 25 or not.
This one, admittedly, there's like a very steep gradient where it went from like these tweets are very obvious to
Yeah.
oh, but holy shit, who could this be?
Hmm.
I do think once you I feel like this one once you guys
Can you say it again?
yes. Holy shit! I just lost to hard work and friendship. WTFFFFFFF. Depending on how much of a top player culture fiend you are, I think once you see who this one is, it'll be one of
Darn.
those like
Then
I should have known
definitely
this.
missed it.
I just. Like, I know what it's referring to, but I can't think of who would say it.
Ooh, that's rough.
I know. Agreed. I mean, I'm right there with you.
Graham, should I pull out my hourglass and turn it over?
I'll put an answer in. Hold on. All right.
Okay, so first, before we hear your answers, what do you guys think this was referring to?
Axe and
And
Yoshi
Amsa.
teams. Yeah.
Oh, actually, no.
Darn.
This was referring to. It was Smash Summon Mafia. The last three people were
Oh.
the Moon, D1, and this person.
Oh no!
This person was the Mafia.
It was.
Moon had no idea who to vote for, so he voted for D1 purely because D1 was his friend. Tyler, do you know who it is
Wait,
now?
no. Was this the recent Smash Summit?
No, this was a while
Oh
ago.
no, never mind then. No.
Okay, well, let me hear your guesses.
I put S2J again.
I said duck.
This was Duck.
Oh my
What?
gosh!
Oh, let's go.
I cannot
Tyler.
believe that.
This-
See,
this-
because I was like, that sounds like something he would say, but I don't think he played doubles against that team, because that's what I was thinking it was about.
That's really funny. You were like totally off base about what this was, but you still got it. That might decide this because you're ahead 1 point now. Yes.
Well, no, we still got a few more questions.
We got
Still have a
3,
few
right?
More, but yeah,
Yeah, this
there's
is a
3
good-
more.
This is good. I don't remember any other players in the top 100 or top 25 anymore. So let's go.
Well, you know, if you'd made top 100, you remember someone who's in the top 100 anyway.
Maybe.
The next one is, but I won't die, because if I do, I take sick melee with me, and I can't take sick melee from the people.
From the people is a really interesting part of this. Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
so this one was actually not too bad. You both got it. It was none.
Yeah. This was recently when he was in Guatemala, right?
Nicaragua.
Or Nicaragua,
yeah.
I mean, excuse me.
And
Yes,
they're having
excuse me.
terrible, just dictatorial, authoritarian issues there. So, and yeah, Nunn is also he plays sick melee, and he's all about the people. So
Yeah.
you know, it all lines up. All right, so this next one is my personal favorite. Melee tip of the day: don't waste any time. Analyze sets while you're taking a dump so that you can take a dump on your opponents.
Good advice.
Yeah, I think I know this one. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with this one.
Mm,
There's one problem with it, but I'm gonna stick with it.
Really? Okay. Huh.
Maybe.
Well, Graham, let me hear your answer.
I said S2J.
Tyler?
I put Zane, but I don't remember if he's top 25 for last year.
It
He's
is
not.
Zane, and
Yeah.
he is top
What?
25.
Okay, because
he's
he
not.
he always does
Oh.
he always does the melee tip of the day and does something really memey along with it. So that's why I knew that one.
I could have sworn he was like 30.
Oh, he's 22. I
Okay,
don't know
cool.
why you wouldn't think he had like a win on Leffen last year.
Yeah, that's true. I just thought that like this year was the year he really was like top like whatever. I thought he might be like top 30 or something.
Arun, he lost to us in doubles last year. could he be top
he
30?
lost to me last year.
Exactly.
Hey, Graham, we had a conversation where we said like you had 2 top 25 doubles wins.
That's so
See,
funny.
yeah, it's 25 is just all arbitrary numbers to me. Thought it was 30. I don't know.
Okay,
All right,
so
how many questions left?
There's one more. It's
Oh.
tied. So this one's really rough. So it might come down to a tie.
Okay.
I should have prepared a tiebreaker. That was my bad. I didn't think it would come to this. Honestly, Tyler, I thought you would sweep this because you were more of a memer than Graham
Yeah,
is.
the duck one really hurt.
Yeah, it was clutch.
I mean, I think I've done pretty well. Just the last few were kind of tough.
Oh yeah, it got much harder towards the end. That was very deliberate. Wanted to lull you into a false sense of security.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the last one is Summer 3 sponsored by Weed Maps, and you think Drugged Fox versus Smoked Two Joints won't be grand finals? Think again, Lamau.
I don't know this one. This is an
Neither do I.
extreme shot in the dark.
So theoretically, if you knew the top 25, we eliminated 14 of them. This is the other reason I didn't want you guys have the list. Is at this point, there's only like 11 people it could be.
All right, I shot my shot.
All right, Graham, what do you say?
I said shoot at.
I said Mike Hayes.
So I don't think Judah actually tweets anything besides I
No.
whooped you, hugs 86, and
Yes.
food pictures. This actually wasn't my case though. This was a trick question. It was Drugged Fox.
Oh Lord.
Sorry, I had to be a little bit mean at the end.
Oh no. Did we tie?
Yeah, you guys tied 10-10.
Okay. So 10 out of how many?
Out
Like
of
14.
15.
That's not bad. We did pretty good.
Yeah, Graham slipped up on a Mewtwo King Buff,
And
I think, and
the
then
duck one.
he made the comeback with the randomly guessing duck for totally the wrong reasons. But
Well, my
yeah.
reason was the tweet sounded like something Duck would say.
Oh, that's right.
That's a good one. Yeah, I didn't think he was top 25 either, but I mean he is. He's like top like 12, right, or something. I didn't even think
15?
about him.
He's
15.
14.
Okay.
So we learned a lot about tweets. I also learned that you guys don't have the best handle on who the top 25 are, which is totally fair. But,
Yeah.
so I guess that means the lifetime count is now 1.5 to 1/2. That's
Or you could do one, well, like the way they do draws in soccer. Like my record would be 1-0-1. Tyler's would be 0-1-1.
0-1.
doesn't make sense though. There's only 2 of you.
That's true.
So
We
we'll
could
call
speed-
it 1 point. We'll call it 1.5
Cool.
to 0.5.
Oh,
Okay.
we could just do. Yeah,
Uh,
okay, whatever. That's fine.
To round it to an integer next time, I'll just come up with trivia that you guys won't possibly guess anything at all, and then we'll have
Okay.
another tie. And
So
it'll
forever we'll have 0.5. Forever.
Oh no!
Unless we
Next
tie
time,
again.
next time
Oh,
we'll just force a tie by making it
Oh,
impossible to
I
get anything
see.
right.
okay. That's terrible.
So look forward to that. That concludes this episode of Two Floaties, One Wobbler. I'm Arun again. You can catch me on Twitter at Guruganesh.
I'm Graham, and as I said in the segment, I'm not on Twitter, but I do have a blog, hi-fi-ssbm.wordpress.com. So please check that out.
And you can find me on Twitter at sharks_SSB, as well as on Twitch, twitch.tv/sharks_SSB. If you ever want to shoot me a friend request on PS4, Steam, or Switch, hit me up. I'm trying to get more friends on those. And as for the podcast, you can find us on YouTube. If you look up Two Floaties, One Wobbler, it's going to be probably a little bit hard to find at the beginning, but we'll definitely have a link on the NC Melee Facebook page. We also have a SoundCloud. We're going to do the same thing, of course, post a link there. And we also have a place that we're uploading it, so you'll be able to listen to it or download it directly, and we'll also have the link there as well. Is there anywhere else, any other thing that we need to plug, or is that going to do it?
I think we're good.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in, and I hope we will see y'all in a couple weeks again. Thanks, everyone.
See you.
Later.